just look at me. I might hold the camera. I might move her around
But
a
look
little
at
bit.
you.
Yeah. Let me just get my stuff all set up. And even though that you were working with that one gal, I didn't get her face on there.
Okay,
I just kind of kept it private. So yeah, actually, I'll just keep it on that. Okay. So, tell me who you are.
Okay.
Where are we? What you do here, and just talking about this place and how special it is to you.
Okay.
And then tell us what's happening right now this month.
The changes.
The changes, what's going on. You just tell everybody everything. I would even.
No, I think those movies, let me double check, but I think they're all sold.
Okay, I'm Jessie Dalbey. Most everybody knows that. I've been here since the beginning of time. We moved to Hamilton in '89. My baby started kindergarten or first grade, and for the first time, I didn't know what to do with myself. Came in here to rent a movie, and they just put up a sign, help wanted. I applied, and I got it. That was 25 years ago. So for 25 years, people are accustomed to seeing me stand behind this counter. It has been a hard decision for us, and it's something that we've been thinking about for the last year. But we decided the first of this year, 2015, that it was time for me to retire, to give some attention to my husband, my house, and visit with my grandkids. I have the biggest thing, I think, that pushed me over was I have a grandbaby that's now 8 months old, and I haven't got to see him or hold him. First trip I'm going to make is to Missouri to see that little boy. So that was kind of the push to get me to do it. We're at 404 South 1st Street in Hamilton, which is right next to Al's Car Care. And the phone number is 406-363-5288. Even though I've been selling movies for about a week, we probably have thousands of them still sitting in here. There's a lot of good movies for people to come and purchase, and they all have to be gone or should be gone by the end of the month. But it's been good. This has been good for me. I moved here not knowing anybody. I think I know almost everybody in Hamilton and the surrounding towns now after this many years. I'm Grandma Jessie to most of the little kids that come in here. And they are my babies, even if they're honorary, they're my babies, and I care about them. That's going to be hard. I get a little teary when I think about not being able to see them every day. But I owe it to my family to give them some time now. They gave me 25 years of being here and put up with me. So it's going to be a change. It's going to be a change for everyone. But it's a good change. I'm excited. I really haven't stopped smiling since we made the decision, because I'm thinking of everything I'm going to do and, things I've put off, and I can do them now. So I just, wish everybody would come in to tell me goodbye so we can have that final hug, and I can tell them, how to get in touch with me if they want to, because I'm always going to be able to have coffee now. I could never go have coffee with anyone before, and now I can. I've been here long enough that I've seen little kids that have now grown up, and they're bringing their little kids in. And sometimes they're just back visiting grandparents, and they bring their kids in saying, this is Jessie, and she was here when I was your size, and this is where we got our movies. So I'm part of the history of the valley too. And I know that if I ever needed anything, there would be so many people in this town that would come to help. Hopefully that never happens, that I do need anything, but a small town comes together when there's a need. And I would help if somebody else needed something too, so it goes both ways. But that's the good part. This is probably one of the only places you could find those old classic movies. And it's hard for me to sell them because I spent all 25 years collecting them. I do have to part with them. And I just hope they go to good homes that appreciate them and realize how good they are and what a treasure they are. John Wayne movies, I'm not really sure that John Wayne movies are all that great, but it's John Wayne. They have memories for me, because when I was a little girl, back before videos and all that, there was Saturday night at midnight, John Wayne night. But I remember when I was 8, 9, 10 years old, Mama would pop popcorn. She didn't care for movies, she would go to bed. Dad and I would sit up every Saturday night and watch John Wayne. Because of that, I like John Wayne because he gave me memories. You know, I'm not sure I even remember all of his movies, but I remember sitting there watching them with Dad. I know I'm like a bartender. I think people think of this as a, you know, bar because they stand on that side. They tell me, I know when somebody's going to have a baby. I know when somebody just became engaged. I know when some husband has been unfaithful. You know, I hear it all. But the people, little Johanna, she was a little German lady that would come in here, and she's passed on. But my entire family fell in love with Johanna. And we miss her now, but the stories, she was always going to teach me German. And she'd come in and she'd practice and make me work on it. And, you know, I have enough trouble just talking without having to do it in German. But to her, she was so kind-hearted. When my oldest daughter, my first grandchild, was due, little Johanna lived behind the store across the railroad tracks, and she'd come over every day and bring my daughter a banana or an orange, and she'd have it all peeled. The orange would be sectioned, you know, those little sweet things. And she had Alzheimer's, and toward the end I had my phone number taped up beside her phone, because if she needed something, she could at least call, and, you know, somebody would run over. And she had family here, but we were close. And there were so many times that she would take her car and forget that she drove and walk home, and then discover her car was missing and somebody had stole her car. And she would call, and my husband would get her, and they'd drive up and down the main street, Kmart, all those places, till they found where she'd left her car. I mean, she probably shouldn't have been driving, but but I mean, just people like her, that, you know, there's so many of them. I mean, Pierre was a little guy that him and his wife had owned the bank, and he would come in and he would bake me brownies and bring them in. I guess he thought I was starving or something, that I needed food, because he'd always show up with something. And then there was Al Brown, who comes in all the time, and I love him. He knows I like cookbooks. He'll bring me a box of cookbooks, and I don't know where he gathers them, but he'll bring me in a box of cookbooks, and I like to read cookbooks. And just people like that you begin to know their history, they tell you their stories, and they become part of your family. I don't want them sad, because I'm going on to something better, and I'm happy about it. But I do hope they miss me a little bit. Those are the things, you know. I want them to miss me, but I want them to miss me in a good way.